Hola Sunshiners! I apologize for going incognito on you guys. Jump right in. So, first of all, let's see what's going on with my fire signs. Alright, fire babies. Working on the fire babies. Ooh. Working on pentacles. Working on stability. Working on being stable. Feeling that maybe you need to be stable with yourself before you're able to be stable with another. Okay, you can see that. Wow. I don't know who offered to you, but they offered quite a good bit. Look, Ace of Pentacles. Is maybe the universe offering you the most amazing thing? Did they send you a bow that you've been praying for? Okay. Let's find out. Alright, fire signs, for the next 2 weeks in love, what is up with you? Next 2 weeks in love, fire signs. You were happy at a time with your significant other, or you found a crush or someone very new still in your life, because it is a baby. The Sun card is a baby. Could be a Gemini, could be a Leo that you're dealing with. Since I see, you know, the horse there, I'll always say Sagittarius as well. Red is a very new, intense love. It was a romantic love. A love unlike any other you've experienced before. It came fast, and it lasted, and it bloomed, and it blossomed, and it transformed you. It almost like it did, it transformed you. And you transformed this person when you guys met one another. One of you was more aware of the situation that was unfolding rather than the other one. The other one was kind of happy-go-lucky, you know, childlike energy, just, you know, going with the flow, having fun as you're having fun together. And if you guys weren't having fun together, well, then they kind of didn't want to join in on the fun, and just kind of going with the flow. Happy-go-lucky energy. So either you had a relationship with someone that is either beginning, or a relationship with someone who is still in the beginnings, you know, that newer honeymoon phase, if you so want to perceive it that way. Seven of Cups reversed. A lot of options, a lot of opportunities came along your way, fire sign, and I'm seeing a lot of reversals, which means I'm picking up a lot more of that other person's energy. Fire sign, it's good to feel happy, and it's good to be sunny, and it's good to spread that joy and that sunshine with everyone around you, but you also have to be cautious of who is within your energy field. If you're giving yourself to too many energies, then it can cause a lot of confusion. And not only that, remember, you know, karmic debt can be accumulated quite quickly. That being said, I see that you did leave someone kind of left in the dark. You decided, because you had so many options presented in front of you, that you just weren't 100% there. You were like 99% there with that person, because they did bring you a lot of joy. But if you look at the face of this horse, if you guys have ever, like, look at him. He's confused. If this is the Saggy I'm talking about, then you were like, how can one person bring me this much joy? It's just not, it just makes no sense type of energy. Like, it confused you, and something that should have been joyful, should have been full of mercy and love and understanding and passionate, turned into, I need to recalculate everything and everyone in my life, because clearly something is up. Clearly something is up with the universe. Like, there's no way at all possible that I can be this happy with one person, or not one person can make me this happy, or that this one person can be this perfect. It's just not possible. Like, you almost started to get suspicious. almost turning it into that, like, that self-sabotaging moment and conflict within yourself, where you started questioning everything. And there's a quote that I read earlier today that said something along these lines. I apologize if it's not word by word, but something along the lines of, if you start to question and think, you will create problems that were never there. And that's what you did by your sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You started to doubt. You started to question. And even though everything was beautiful and everything was wonderful, because, you know, what you think gets into your heart space, you started to block your heart chakra. When you allowed these negative ideas to overfill your mind, it not only overcame your mindset, it overcame your heart space. So when it came for you to give to this other person, or vice versa, for this person to open up so that they can receive, it just didn't work. You guys ended up in conflict. There was a disagreement, or there's going to be a disagreement. Disagreement arises and a cycle ends and a cycle opens. Could be also that this is a continuous cycle where you guys are, you know, happy with one another, then you argue, you fight, you kind of dismiss one another, say some things that maybe shouldn't have been said, some hurtful, you know, he said, she said, nonsense, drama stuff. And so a cycle closes. More than likely Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, whoever it is that I'm speaking to at the moment, fire sign, fire baby, you were more than likely the person who decided to close out the chapter with this person. Why? Because I'm seeing a lot of reversals after this. So I'm seeing a lot of their emotional intensity, whereas with you, fire sign, I see a lot of happiness and a lot of, like, agility, a lot of ability for you to just kind of break free from this connection and move forward. I apologize if a cross-watcher is watching. I don't mean to sound insensitive, but I'm just reading from my own experience and also from what the cards are telling me. That being said, 10 of Pentacles upright. Could be maybe that to this person, you were their 10 of Cups, but you only saw them as a 10 of Pentacles. Now, what does that mean? Pentacles are relating to finance, yes. Stability, sure. All of the above. But to me, a relationship that is deemed on 10 of Pentacles is actually really good. It means that you're stable. It means that you guys are on a same kind of playing field, where mentally you guys can have amazing conversations, where you guys don't really seem to argue so much when it comes to where you want to eat, where you want to go visit, you know, what do you want to do today, you know. It's almost like a routine. What I mean by stability here is it's a stable and routine. So you got stable with this person, you got into a routine with this person, you got into a comfort level with this person, and the sun is shining so bright as soon as I said that. Take that as you may. But I always see everything that happens around me as synchronicities and patterns. So the sun shining right as soon as I said that, to me really signifies that you guys really did have a happy, joyful connection. You guys really do have one currently, if this is happening in the present tense. The relationship that I'm seeing here is, you know, there's several different stories that I could see, but the primarily one that I see is you, fire sign. You're deciding that, yes, I see myself as comfortable with them, but I want my cups. And I don't have them. I want the emotional depthness, which is really odd because as a fire sign, if you have passion and if you have comfort, that's typically enough, but not always. And I really don't blame you, fire sign, for wanting that emotional depth. It could be, again, going back to that 99%, it was almost there, just almost there. It could be maybe that it was a self-sabotage thing, that you did really just have a decent relationship and you just kind of jumped the gun and walked away from it regardless. Or it could be your intuition talking to you, telling you this is not the one. This is close, but this is not. Three of Pentacles reversed. Third party situation. It seemed that as soon as you finished the first cycle, again, sun is shining, I take that as a sign for whomever this message is supposed to be for. As soon as the cycle closed, you jumped right into the next one. Four of Wands, reversed. Sometimes when most of the time when I read reversals, I see them as the energy of the other person you're dealing with, or the situation, or the energy of the events. Here, I'm not seeing it as the energy of the person per se, but I'm seeing the energy of the events and the situation that was happening. So for me, energetically speaking, Three of Pentacles followed by the Four of Wands reversed is you deciding that you wanted to jump ship and move forward with another person that you had in your energy field. So it had to be someone, that you did have some sort of a base ground with. Whether you were speaking to this person while you were seeing the first person, scenario A, whether it's an ex that you decided to rekindle something with, scenario B, or scenario C could be that maybe as soon as you ended things with this person, that someone else just kind of appeared out of the blue for you. And you were like, you know what, I want to give it a shot with this person. Even though I'm still heartbroken over this other person, I'm not going to let that stop me in my quest for love, because I know my worth and I know what it is that I need and what I desire. And so I'm not going to let anyone stand in my way of getting what it is that I want. So more power to you. That's really hard to do. It really is. 10 of Wands reversed. I am seeing this as the energy of the person you left behind. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, whomever this person is, they are left pretty burdened by you leaving, and they are not wanting to let go of you. They're finding it very difficult. They probably are trying to talk to you still and trying to communicate with you, and you're probably either dodging their calls, not picking up the phone, or when you pick up, you immediately hang up. Could be a situation where if you guys are within driving distance of one another, they might even show up at your doorstep one day just saying, hey, we need to chat, what's going on? And you're just trying to blow them off in any way of form possible. If you guys did have a relationship where things were involved, then maybe this is you feeling kind of upside down, where you kind of have to keep them in your energy field because you want to get your items back. I do see this as a new or fresher relationship, but if this was something that you guys had a commitment with, if you guys were in a commitment for a while and this just kind of happened out of the blue, then this could symbolize all of your financial structures that you guys had with one another. So maybe you guys bought a car together, and now that you guys are looking to part ways, or vice versa, fire sign, you're looking to part ways from the primary person that you're with, you're finding it very hard and difficult to have that final talk with them, that final step that will make things permanent and clear with one another. And so in the next 2 weeks, I see you kind of battling with yourself. King of Cups, again, you're trying to battle the burden of having them still own your stuff, or vice versa, still own a piece of your heart, because this is the King of Cups. It's pretty emotional, pretty intense. Emotionally speaking, you still have a lot of heart for this person. You still care a lot about this person. And this person may have said some hurtful things to you that kind of irritated you. I know, as a fire sign, me personally speaking, I understand. I totally get it. I, of all people, would know. When it comes to arguments, when it comes to conversations and difficult conversations, it can be hard for us because we do get pretty irritable and irritated quite quickly. And we can put our offenses, get our defenses all riled up and say hurtful things in return that we don't necessarily mean, but speak out of anger and frustration because there's so much pent up emotions that we've bottled up and allowed just kind of let loose in the moment and in the heat of the moment. That being said, it could also be a water sign that you're dealing with. Maybe you have like a water moon, like a Cancer moon, a Scorpio moon, or maybe even a Pisces moon. If not that, then the person you're dealing with is very emotional or very emotional at this time, or this is an emotional time for you. I mean, a heartbreak or a breakup is never an easy thing, even for both parties. Even for the person who is doing the leaving, it's never easy. And this is something that not a lot of people understand and not a lot of people want to question and think about, but think about it. I mean, if you've ever had someone in your life walk away, whether it be because you wanted them to leave, whether it be because, you know, you guys had to move, whatever it is, having someone leave from your life has never been easy. Even if you despise the person, it's never easy. Seven of Wands reversed. Again, a lot of intense, harsh communication is coming, or has already occurred. You have a lot to say, but you can't say it. You don't know how to say it. You don't want to hurt this person any more than you already have, and you feel guilty. But you felt that there was no other way, that there was no other option other than this, and for whatever reason, you're standing very firm in your decision. This is yours. Central energy. World card. Starting a new cycle, starting fresh, starting basically from rock bottom up. And that's a good place to start from, because if you've already hit rock bottom, there's only one other way for you to go, and that's up. Okay? Remember that. If this feels like the end of the world to you, good. Not good because it's intense and it's hurtful and it's painful, but good because understand and relish and hold on to the truth and knowledge that you are going to be okay. You have seen and felt that agony, and you are going to leave out of that transformed and stronger and prepared for any new path that may come towards you. At the moment, you're still hung up on this person, or vice versa, they're still hung up on you, and that's a very scary, emotional, and sensitive place to be, and I understand, and I'm sorry. And it's not easy, and it sucks, and I know it feels as though someone's just kind of ripped out your heart and stomped on it, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't have to go through this alone. This reading resonates to me as well, guys. You need to understand that's another reason why it's so hard for me to be this vulnerable and open up to this, but it does resonate with me as well. That being said, even though you're hung up, even though they're hung up, whatever the situation may be, it's time to hang up the ropes. It's time. It's time to let go. It's time to embody the energy of the King of Swords and part ways from one another, and part away from the pain that has been caused from this, and part away with that pain and transform that pain into a productive, more joyful, more wonderful and sunny energy. Take what you've learned from this relationship and grow with it, because you had wonderful moments for a reason. You had to be with this person for a reason, and for whatever reason that you guys are not together at the moment, or not speaking to one another, or not communicating with one another, or avoiding one another, or one had to move, or one had to go, or whatever the situation may be, understand that it is for a reason, and you are going to learn so much about yourself and your worth and what you want because of it. You're going to grow in so many more ways than one could count. Spiritually, mentally, physically, you're going to grow, and you are growing, but at the moment, you're still hung up. You're still holding on to a cycle that does not benefit you. If that person wants to leave, let them walk away. Do not hold on. Do not try to force something to be in your world, because it is not meant for you. If it is meant for you, no one will take it. No one will stop it. Nothing can close out a chapter that's meant to be. And I know it sucks, and I know it hurts, and I know it feels as though you've been stabbed in the back with 1,000 swords, but it is meant to happen this way. And I know that you still have feelings for this person, and I know that they still have feelings for you. That if this is the path that you have chosen for yourself, for whatever reason may it be, I stand by you and I want to help you, and that means you need to help yourself. Meditate, pray, write in a journal, sing a happy song, go out for a walk, make yourself some tea, some hot chocolate, sit down and just be with yourself and your own thoughts and just really think this out and think this through. There's a reason you said bye to this person in the first place. There's a reason you up and left. Because you were happy. You made you happy. Vice versa, you made this person very happy. So there must have been a very good reason for you to have to say goodbye. Remember that. Don't doubt your intuition. Don't cloud your intuition. That's not fair. All your intuition is trying to do is help you, guide you. And you're doing it. And I know it sucks, and I know it's painful, but it won't be like that forever, my dear. How many times in life have you been heartbroken? How many times in life have you scraped your knee and seen blood, only for it to be cured a few weeks later? I'm not saying it's going to go away magically overnight. I'm not saying it's going to happen 2-3 days from now. Maybe it could. If it does, awesome. Props for you. Man, you're strong. But what I'm saying is it will. Okay? So chin up. Cheer up. Because good things are coming for you. And as hard as it may be, you owe it to this person to have that last conversation. You owe it to that person to communicate. You owe it to set the record straight for whatever it may be. Because just like you are hung up on the situation because you don't want to have that communication with them, they are too. And the best way for both of you to move forward and move on in life is if you are both honest with one another. It's hard, but it is the best, and it is the only way to appropriately learn honest communication. The other thing too I just wanted to make clear is this is a general reading. Also, keep in mind, I am a firm believer that intuition is the #1 way of gaining knowledge, especially when it comes to spiritual aspects of ourselves. When it comes to esoteric things, I think that intuition is always going to be the #1 discernment of whether or not something you choose to believe is true or not. That being said, I don't follow and I don't read tarot traditionally. I am an intuitive reader. So I read tarot based off the symbols, based off what my own intuition is telling me the storyline is, the plot, and the people involved. If this is not something that you feel comfortable with, there's a lot of other tarot readers on YouTube that you can go and find. I'm sure one of them will happily be able to resonate better with you and what it is that you need. Second part to that is I read in tarot so intuitively that I do not follow traditional tarot spreads. Again, remember, I am part Sagittarius, so I go against the norm in that aspect. I read tarot through no tarot spreads. And what that basically means is I shuffle the cards, I do meditate on your energy first, I make sure that I use sage to cleanse my energy and the cards before I start reading them. And in doing so, I feel that, intuitively, whether it be my own energy, your own energy, my spirit guides, your spirit guides, guardian angels, whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's God, whether it's love and light, whether it's the universal power within all of us, whatever it is that you believe in, I truly am a firm believer that love and light reeks much better, and it leaves a much profound experience and a much cleaner experience if we try not to constrict it. And I feel that not necessarily for everyone, obviously, because there are a lot of very, very, very amazing tarot readers who do follow, traditional tarot spreads. I personally, again, tarot speaks through everyone differently. I personally, when I read through my intuition, and the way that it speaks clearly and louder and more in depth for myself, I found, is by not constricting it into a traditional tarot spread. Does that mean I do not read in spreads? Obviously no, because I wouldn't have picked up tarot without understanding spreads and how they work. However, I do feel personally for my own self that I read better through no tarot spreads. So that's why I shuffle, and as the cards fall out, I read in the way that they fall out. So if I see that a card is higher than the other, that's how I maneuver the spread to align. I just go it based off the direction in which the cards are aligned. So I just wanted to give you guys a little insight into how it is that I personally read cards. Again, this is different for everyone involved. So every reader has their own way that they found speaks a message clearly for them. And this is just how I found for my own self to work. Now, in a situation like this where I have a lot of cards that have fallen at once, what I do is I'll pick out the first, and then I'll pick out the bottom. And those will be the cards that are included in the spread. Alright. Thank you, fire signs. As always, stay sunny and everlastingly beautiful. I love you guys.